A convention of business minds, government representatives and policymakers in the eastern Ghanaian city of Ebri, on their agenda, how to transform Africa's economic prospects.
Without the capacity to industrialize, add value to our raw materials, and invest to build the social, digital, economic, and physical infrastructure that will connect our peoples and businesses to customers across Africa, intra-Africa trade will remain at the negligible lows that it has always been.
Africa has an abundance of mineral resources in high demand across the world, including gold, lithium, and bauxite. But development experts argue that overexploitation of natural resources has not helped Africa. They believe the export of raw materials has done very little for the continent and left the vast majority of her people impoverished. Instead, they suggest that Africa should work towards building their capacity to process these minerals locally before they are exported.
For us to be able to optimize the opportunity to maximize or optimize our mineral wealth, and that is by adding value and converting them so that we can actually operate at the higher ends of the value chain. It's almost imperative that we have a way of regionalizing or communizing our objectives. Perhaps we should look at a resource management policy orientation within the continent.
Delegates hope this event will not just be another talk shop. They want African governments to walk the talk and help lift hundreds of millions out of poverty.
I really trust that something positive will come out of this dialogue, because we've been hearing very brilliant ideas on how we can put the continent on the trajectory to prosperity.
Business leaders also want African governments to create a more enabling environment to allow the private sector to thrive. The private sector in Africa suffers from inadequate infrastructure development and the right policies to spur growth. Industry players gathered at this event want governments across the continent to make firm commitments to turn things around. Nabil Ahmed Rufai, CGTN, Ebri, Ghana.